once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso.
YouTube, what's good? It's your man's WeaponizedEX back again with another video as promised. So I know it's been kind of a while since I uploaded. I actually got some medical stuff I got coming up for the next week, so I might not be able to make videos. So I'm just gonna try to batch a few of them and put some out, kind of have some stuff ready so I can start getting back to that consistent content you guys like so much. And also been noticing a lot more views lately on some of the videos, so again, thank you guys so much for the support. It's greatly appreciated. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more Call of Duty tips, tricks, theories, and different things like that. But going into this video, this is going to be top 5 aiming tips that you think you know. So everybody does these aiming tips videos, and I think there's a few tips out there that are not really stressed enough, or that people don't really understand the application of it and like the real reasons why you should do it, and just how big of a difference it can make your gameplay. And this is just like a league play gameplay. This is like a solo queue match I played. Ended up going at like 7k plus damage. I like 2 and a few seconds of hill time and like 40 something kills. So it was a pretty good gameplay. But going into this, I'm just gonna be talking over some things I'm doing, and hopefully you can kind of see it, me doing it as we're getting into it. But the number 1 tip, and this is one that everybody talks about in like every how to aim video, is centering. So centering is like the fundamental, it's like one of the basic fundamentals in Call of Duty. It's literally that little white dot on your screen when you're like unzoomed in or you're unscoped. That's the very center of your screen, and what you want to do is put that center of your screen as close to where you think somebody is going to be as possible before you actually get into the gunfight with them. So that's like a really basic tip. Everybody does that. If you go look up like a lot of the pro players making content right now, like Apathy, Attach, Octane, they've all done videos like that, and they'll all tell you, hey, you have to center, you want to put that reticle centered on where you think the person's going to be, where your next gunfight is, so that way all you got to do is zoom in or snap onto the person and shoot them. So it's a really basic tip, but it's something that people tend to get away from when they're stressed or like in crazy moments in the game. And it's something that you really want to drill into yourself to be always doing. Always have your centering solid. Always have just your fundamentals really sound. That's going to help you to still be hitting consistent shots in like clutch situations and things. And it's something a lot of people don't realize that they get away from when they start thinking about other stuff. When you're thinking about that next rotation, when you're thinking about that next hill, sometimes your centering might start to get a little bit sloppy, and against really good players, that's going to cost you, because you have to be really efficient when you're playing against like really good competitive players, because just little things, like I said, little things separate players from each other. So little basic fundamentals like just centering become huge as you're starting to play better people, and as you're starting to get into some different kind of situations on the game. So going into the next tip, that actually brings me right into the next tip, is pre-aiming and pre-firing. So pre-aiming is like centering step 2, and pre-firing is like centering step 3. So if you're gonna put your reticle as close to where you think somebody is, it's like, why not go ahead and zoom in? Why wait for them to hop out on the angle for you to take that extra like split second for your guy to just put his gun up like that? Why not just already be zoomed in, And as a matter of fact, if you're aiming at a spot, somebody's gonna be there, somebody's gonna challenge it, why not shoot a couple of bullets, I mean, good chance they walk out into it, they get a couple of extra shots on them. Not only are you already pre-aimed and maybe on a head glitch or something, so you've got like a camera advantage, but now they might have 1 or 2 extra shots on them, so it's like an even better chance that you win that gunfight. And I mean, I say all of that to say, again, little things like that is, even good players, I've noticed, they get away from that in certain situations. That's myself, I do it all the time. Like, I'll be like, okay, hey, I'm not pre-aiming enough, let me make sure I'm zoomed in. Let me make sure I'm really like, just like, even right here, I almost won that gunfight, just because I was slide canceling, but even while I was sliding there, I zoomed in, made sure I was like just shooting going into that gunfight, just to give myself the best possible chance to win it. So that's another one of those just small tips that's like, hey, little things like that can really separate a lot of players. And I've seen some people argue that, well, pre-firing, it gives away your position, this, that, the other. It can, but the thing you have to think about is this too. Like, Call of Duty is a very momentum-based game, right? So if somebody's going to challenge you in a gunfight, it's like they have almost like this mental momentum. Like, once somebody makes the decision, I'm going to go try to kill this guy, it's a rare skill in players for them to be able to stop themselves from a gunfight once they're rolling downhill. Once they've decided to go into this gunfight, it's a very rare thing for you to find players that can actually stop themselves if it's unfavorable. Most people, if they know you're around the corner and they're like, I'm gonna slide this corner and gun this kid, and you just start spraying the corner, like 80% of the time that person's gonna jump around the corner and just get killed. Like, it's the weirdest thing ever, but people, it's a very hard discipline for people to stop when they're going into a bad gunfight. So almost gun punch this kid right there. But yeah, that's, you know, that's something that is just a really underrated tip. So going into 2 more, or 3 more actually, these are kind of a little bit rare. You don't see people talk about these as much. But one tip I actually used to use back on Halo is if you're a high sensitivity player, especially, or if you're new to FPS games, actively slow down the way you look around the map. So a lot of times you'll pan, you'll kind of look around just as you're centering, just to get information or see what's going on around you. Actively slow down when you're doing that. What that'll do, that'll help you to pick up people and see people hiding in spots a little easier. Also, for high sensitivity players, you know, like myself, I play on like 9.9, some people play on 7.7. If you're constantly like whipping around, you might miss someone, or you might just barely catch them. So then when you have to whip back to try to get on target, maybe you overshoot it or you undershoot it a little bit, so now you have to adjust again. It's just you're making a lot of large adjustments when you want to be making steady, like smooth kind of adjustments as you're aiming. So that's something that actively force yourself to slow down a little bit. That's something that is I think a really big tip that I don't really see a lot of people talking about. Again, another tip going into like the last few here, a huge one is just actually shot punching people. So I think like in BO4 is when I first noticed, like I think it was BO4, shot punching really getting big. So basically what it is if you tag somebody with even like a half a bullet or like a shot or so, and then you punch them right after, they're just gonna die. So it's a really good move to have up close. To be honest, with the way the netcode is in this game and with the way like just how wonky things can be online, I would say a shot punch a lot of times is almost more consistent than shooting somebody up close, especially with the way in this game it's like if somebody gets close to you, they can almost like push your reticle into the air. Like your guy will be aiming at them, and if they get close, it's like almost like your reticle shoots up into the air sometimes. And like just with the way up close especially, it's like really easy to get your camera broken if somebody's slide canceling. It's a lot more consistent to literally just spray to get one shot on that person and just step into them and punch. Especially as you're closing distance, for some reason, it's really hard in this game to get shots on people consistently as they're closing in distance on you. I'm not sure what it does to your camera or your auto aim, but it's just really hard for some reason in this game. That's definitely a huge underrated tip. I see a lot of people who say, yeah, that's just not in my repertoire of moves. It's just not something I ever think about doing. It just seems so kind of foreign to do. But like, start up a custom game, throw on a bunch of bots, and just like run around the map and literally shot punch everything. Like, it'll get you in that rhythm quick. And once it's like in your repertoire, you'll be like, I can't believe I've never done this before. This is like one of my go-to moves now. So that's another really good tip to use. Another last tip, it's not so much a shooting or like, I guess kind of like more of a gunfighting tip, is just actually knowing when to reload. So this one's kind of, that kid got shredded. This one's kind of a tip for myself as well. A lot of times I find myself reloading at weird times, and basically that can kind of like, that can do a lot of bad things. Sometimes it can cause you to get killed, it can cause you to miss kills, and cause you to be late getting shots on targets to help teammates. You kind of have to look at your magazine and think, okay, how many kills do I have here in this mag right now? Because in theory, if you've got 30 bullets in your magazine and it only takes about 5 to 6 shots for the most part to kill somebody, even online it normally takes like 8 to 9 sometimes, with you maybe missing a shot here and there or something not connecting. If you got 30 rounds, which I think is like the basic magazine for almost every gun in this game, you got enough to kill 3 people right there. And if you switch to your pistol instead of trying to reload, you can kill that 4th player if you shoot him really accurately. So at all times, basically, you should have enough to get a 4-man wipe. So if you can get a 4-man wipe, they're all 4 down, like that gives you plenty of time to reload and get ready for that next gunfight. So in situations, I just go into it like, okay, realistically, how many people do I need to kill here? How many guys am I going to try to engage on this? You know, and just knowing like, hey, I've got 25 bullets left. I've got a good 2.5 kills here. I've got 10 bullets left. I've got maybe 1 kill ready to go. You know, I have 30 bullets left. I've got like 2 or 3 kills ready to go. So that's just, you know, something to think about, just to keep yourself from like this habit I get into where I'll shoot 1 bullet and then reload immediately after, and then some kid will jump out at me and melt me. So that's kind of a tip for myself that I thought I'd just put in this video as well. this is something that I feel like could really help. So that's gonna pretty much do it for this video. Those are my top 5 like underrated like aiming tips that a lot of people talk about, but just a little bit more in depth on just what are some of the ins and outs of them are. And it's like I said, with a lot of these kind of basic tips, a lot of people tend to kind of get away from them, or tend to think they're not as important as certain other concepts in the game, like more advanced concepts. But it's like, you can't really execute the advanced stuff until you have your fundamentals like literally unconscious. Until you're like unconsciously perfectly centering, snapping, and just beaming everything. Like that's gonna allow you to apply some of the more advanced concepts in the game, like, you know, knowing routes and how to flank people and how to like predict players' movements, how to like, you know, play off and slay off with your teammates. It's like all of that is built upon you being able to shoot straight. So if you can't shoot straight, there's a lot of stuff you can't do on this game, because I mean it's a shooter game, right? So that's gonna do it for this video. Again, thank you guys so much for the views. Definitely like, comment, and subscribe if this video helped you, or if you got some of your own tips and some different things that you think are not talked about enough in like aiming tip videos, definitely leave it down in the comment section. That's pretty much gonna do it for this video. I think we ended up, yeah, I shot my teammate in the back right there. We ended up winning this one. Yeah, we ended up winning this one pretty handily. 46 and 11, 21 objective kills, 2.5 minutes of hill time. So I was pretty good game there, honestly, at least for me. So that's gonna do it. Definitely like, comment, and subscribe, guys. I go by the name of WeaponizedEX, and I will catch you all next time.